you're making me feel really good. I recently got back from a trip from Florida, and I have a 6-year-old, and I thought, man, what am I going to bring her back from Florida? We've got enough junk in our house. I cannot tolerate another little toy or gizmo that can be shoved away. And so in the airport, I found a little palm. And I thought, what a fun thing to bring back, you know, for my daughter. And so I brought her back this palm, and she's all excited about it, and she's been, you know, caring for it and tending to it. Who would have thought that the little palm that I bought in the airport in Florida could actually have benefit in our home?
Right.
So what a blessing to be able to do that.
It is excellent.
Very good. Well, what I've learned today is that, you know, there are things that are off-gassed, things that we don't even think about. You know, I certainly learned about them a little bit over the course of the past 2 years related to my own allergy to formaldehyde. But who would have thought about, you mentioned the sofa, you know, upholstered furniture, carpeting, draperies.
Perma-pressed clothes.
Perma-pressed clothes.
They off-gas formaldehyde.
And paper towels.
Okay, you're killing me. I don't like to iron.
Yeah, sorry. I guess you'll have to iron next to a palm.
Next to a palm, that's right. So what was the last one that you mentioned?
Paper towels.
Paper
napkins.
towels. Okay.
No, perma-press, that's a problem for me too, because I really like perma-press. You know, it's wonderful for Tim's shirts. So I think, you know, thinking about those things is going to come down to buying choices, but definitely also choices of things to put in my house.
Right. Right. So even though many of us are living and working in what we could call toxic environments related to this off-gassing, there are things that we can do. Ventilation being a pretty big one.
Absolutely.
And then adding to that ventilation, plants in our space, not only for ourselves but for our families as well. Now, in your research related to this topic, have you found anything related to sunshine, that sunshine could help?
Absolutely. Sunshine is very important. The ultraviolet light kills bacteria. Unfortunately, glass often prevents ultraviolet light penetration into the house, but an environment that's good for plants is good for us as well. You know, I think of Adam and Eve in the garden. Maybe the reason they lived so long is because they were in a garden environment. And the more garden-like we make our homes, even here in Maine, the healthier we'll be. And sunshine is a part of that. It cuts down on mold, it cuts down on bacteria. And when you can, throw your house open and let the fresh air and the sunshine in.
Right.
That's a very healthful thing. And we're coming up to that time of the year now here in Maine.
Yes, we are.
And that's a good thing.
Yep. So another thing that I heard you mention was construction. Right. So whether it's plyboard or, you know, whatever, that perhaps there's some alternative materials that can be used to decrease the amount of toxic load in our environments, and we could consider.
Absolutely. I would say if you're remodeling, if you're thinking of replacing your carpet, replace it with wood floors. That's certainly less outgassing. If you're building new, talk to your builder about how to keep the environmental toxins to a minimum. If you're building a home, think about the mold underneath your house and and the radon underneath the house, and keep things as green as you can in the new sense of the word green.
Green is the new black, you
That's
know.
right.
So
Keep it as green as you can, but also make it as environmentally healthy for yourself and your family as possible.
very good. Anything that you'd like to add?
Well, just from having just come from a garden center and walking through there, I just would encourage anyone to go to your garden center and walk around and just get the blessing from being with all those plants, because it's just wonderful. I couldn't encourage it enough.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. You both have given so graciously of your time in the past and certainly your expertise. And thank you, audience, for joining us today on Healthy Living. We've learned a lot. We've learned that environmental toxins really can harm our health. And I certainly haven't given much thought to my television or my computer or the carpeting or the cushions on my sofa. But these are all things that we can think about, making sure that the ventilation in our home is good. Bring some plants in. We are entering into the spring season here in Maine, thankfully. There are things that we can grow right in our own gardens. There are things that we can bring in the house during the winter. Many things that we can consider to increase the healthfulness of our homes and of the air in which we're breathing. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you to Parkview Adventist Medical Center for our work on this particular show. Take care and have a great day.